Welcome back, children. I hope you all are doing good. So today we are going to see the third part of the World War II. So our topic today is effect of World War II. So before we get into the topic, let's have a recap whatever we have seen before. In the first part, we have seen the causes of World War II. So they are Germany and the Treaty of Versailles. Second one, we have seen failure of League of Nations. Third one, post-war crisis in Germany and the rise of Hitler and Munich Pact. All these played a vital role which led to the World War II. Then in the second part, we have seen course of the World War II. The World War II was started on 1939 and it came to an end in the year 1945. So we have seen the countries, there were two groups, one is Allied powers and other one is Axis powers. Finally, the Allied powers came victorious. I hope you have understand this topic, what we have seen so far. So now we are getting into the topic effect of World War II. So the first topic what we are going to see is new geopolitical power alignment. So after the World War II, after 1945, the countries in the world, it's divided into two groups based on communism and anti-communism. One group was led by United States which supported anti-communism, and second one was under Russia. They were communist countries. So first we'll see what is communism. Communism means, it's an economic ideology that advocates classless society. So here in communist country, most of the bigger industries and main institution will get controlled by the public. That means government. So here in communist countries, there is very less chances for the private ownership. So now we can see few communist countries like China, Cuba, Vietnam. All these are very famous communist countries. So based on this idea, the world was divided into communist countries and anti-communist countries. So communist countries were led by Soviet Russia, whereas non-communist countries were led by United States. So second topic what we are going to see is nuclear proliferation. So what is mean by proliferation? Means a rapid increase. Proliferation means rapid increase. So here there was a rapid increase in nuclear weapons. So the two main countries, Soviet Russia and United States, they get into the competition. That means they get into the competition who will produce more and more nuclear weapons. So they want to prove themselves who is powerful. So in order to show their power, they started to involve in the nuclear proliferation. International agencies. Many countries, they came forward and they started international agencies. In particular, the famous international agencies are United Nations, the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund came into existence, providing a forum for countries large and small. So they came together and they started to discuss about the world issues. Then the next one, decolonization. So colonial powers were forced to give independence to the colonies. That is what known as decolonization. India was the first country to achieve independence. Holocaust and its fallout. The next impact was Holocaust and its fallout. The word Holocaust means genocide of 6 million Jews by the Germans during the World War II. So now we'll see what is genocide. Genocide means a deliberate killing of large number of people with the aim of destroying that particular ethnic community. That is what genocide. So we all know when Hitler came to power, immediately he started the measures to eradicate the Jewish society from Germany. Okay, Hitler came to power in the year 1933. Soon after that, he started various measures to eradicate the Jewish people from Germany. So the Jews were deprived of their civil rights, their properties were confiscated. So what is confiscated means forcibly taken. Their properties were forcibly taken by the German government. So many were confined to ghettos. Many people were confined to ghettos. So the Nazis came with the notion of final solution. So those killed by the Germans, they never mentioned the word killing. So instead of the word killing, they were using the word final solution. And next, Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So first we'll see what is human rights. The human rights are the basic rights that belong to every person in the world from the birth until death. So what is meant by human rights? The rights, basic rights that belong to every person in the world from the birth until death. So in 9th standard we have learnt about fundamental rights, what is guaranteed in our constitution. So the fundamental rights we can enjoy as a citizen of India, which is given in our Indian constitution. But whereas human rights, it's applicable for all the people in the world. So now we may think, what's the necessity for Declaration of Human Rights? So we have learnt about Holocaust, where the Jews killed by Hitler. So when millions of Jews were killed by Hitler, there were no organization to question him. So after the World War II, the people felt must be one organization to protect the rights, basic rights of the people. So this led to the birth of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So here we'll see the human rights and fundamental freedoms for without distinction of race, sex, language and religion. It's applicable for everyone. United Nations effort to protect human rights on the global basis resulted in the constitution of UN Commission on Human Rights. So committee constituted under auspices was chaired by Eleanor Roosevelt. So auspices means a patron. The guidance, under the guidance of Eleanor Roosevelt, wife of late President Franklin Roosevelt, and the members of the commission included Charles Malik of Lebanon, P.C. Chang of Nationalist China, John Humphrey of Canada, René Cassin of France. All these people, they played a vital role for this declaration. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights set forth fundamental human rights in 30 articles. The UN adopted this historic charter on 10th December 1948. Every year, this 10th December, we are commemorating as Human Rights Day. So, in one word, in your board exam, in one word, they may ask this, when we observe the Human Rights Day. So, every year, we observe December 10th as Human Rights Day. The next impact is birth of Israel. So, it's a very important outcome of Holocaust. The major outcome of Holocaust was the creation of the state of Israel as a homeland for Jews. So, we know very well historically Israel was a homeland for Jews. But in 1948, after Holocaust, United Nations recognized Israel. It's recognized Israel as a homeland for Jews. So, it's a very important outcome of the Holocaust. Then new international order. by 1941, United States and Britain began to give a serious consideration to the need for international cooperation for achieving lasting peace among all nations. So they realized the importance of world peace, and also they noticed the importance for economic and financial stability throughout the world. So this led to the formation of international organization, the one which we know it is United States. So this ultimately resulted in the establishment of United Nations, the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. United Nations. So children, when we talk about the United Nations, it's a very important one. You have to be thorough with this concept. It's a highly expecting question, one of the important questions for your board exam. So listen little more with care. So United Nations, all the countries, they came together, many countries, they came together and they formed an organization which is known as United Nations. So the first initiative for the United Nations came from the United States and Britain in 1941 when they issued joint declaration known as Atlantic Charter. This declaration of United States was accepted by all 26 countries which were fighting against the Axis power. So this declaration was adopted on New Year's Day on 1942. The Charter of the United Nations was signed on June 26, 1945 by 51 nations. India, which was not an independent country, we was signatory of the charter. Now, United Nations has 193 member states and each one, big or small, are equal. Every countries, they have equal vote in the United Nations. Finally, it came into force. United Nations came into force on 24th October 1945. 24th October 1945. So this 24th October we are observing as United Nations Day. Next one, General Assembly. We are going to see the structure of United Nations. So first one, General Assembly. It is a body in which member states is represented. Member state is represented. Almost all the member countries will send their representatives to General Assembly. It meets once in a year and in that they will discuss the world issues and the points of conflict, or they will discuss about the world issues and the points of interest. They will discuss when they assemble. Security Council. It's very important. We must know the name itself, Security Council, which major object was maintain peace. Security Council, it has 15 members. In that there are 5 members are permanent members. They are United States, Britain, France, Russia and China. So these 5 countries are permanent members, other 10 are temporary members. They used to elect in the rotation. So these 5 member countries, permanent members, they have veto power. They have right to veto. What does right to veto means? It's a vote which will block any major decision. Mostly this veto power were used by US and Russia. Then administrative structure. We'll see the executive wing of United Nations is the UN Secretariat. It is headed by the Secretary General, who is elected by General Assembly on the recommendations of Security Council. So who will elect the Secretary General? Secretary General elected by the General Assembly on the recommendations of Security Councils. You must know who is the current Secretary General is Antonio Guterres. The Secretary General along with this cabinet and other officials runs the United Nations. Other organs of United Nations, the International Court of Justice, its headquarters is located at Hague in Holland. is the judicial wing of United Nations. The Economic and Social Council, the fifth organ of United Nations, it's responsible for coordinating all the economic and social work of United Nations. The regional economic commissions functioning for the regional development across the regions of the world. They have been very successful in their given task. Then other important organs of UN, associated organs, deal with the areas of critical interest to the world are large like food, health, education and culture. These are Food and Agricultural Organization FAO, World Health Organization WHO, UN Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO. So, children, you must keep in your mind when you write the abbreviation like FAO, WHO, UNICEF and UNESCO, all this you must write it in the capital letters. You should not write in the smaller ones. There are also a special organization funded voluntarily by member countries. These two known among them are UNICEF, United Nations Children's Fund, which promotes the child health and welfare across the world. So, the main target of UNICEF, it focuses on child health and welfare across the world. Then UNDP, United Nations Development Program, which focuses on development. Then activities of United Nations. Over decades, the United Nations has expanded its activities in response to the changing problem facing the world. Thus, in the year 1960s, decolonization was a very important issue. Human rights and the problem of refugees and climate change, gender equality, all now with the ambit of activities of a United Nations. A special mention must be made by the areas of conflict all over the world. The Indian Army has been an important part of the peacekeeping force. When we talk about the United Nations, we should keep one thing in the mind, which is a pride moment for our Tamil people. So, in the entrance of United Nations, the quote is given as one of the poetic quote from Purananuru by Kaniyan Pungundranar, Yadum Ure Yavarum Kelir. So, this tells about the essence of United Nations, tells about the essence of United Nations. World Bank. So, we will see the other organization, world organization, international organization, the World Bank. So, the World Bank and International Monetary Fund, they are known as Bretton Woods twins. They were known as Bretton Woods twins because they both were established in the year 1944. It's located in Washington DC in United States. So, the two main organs of a World Bank are International Bank of Reconstruction and Development. So, it is IBRD, and the International Development Agency, it is IDA. Together, they are often referred as a World Bank. So, what are the two joined together? It's known as a World Bank. International Bank of Reconstruction and Development and the International Development Agency, they join together, it's known as World Bank. So, now we'll see what is the major objective of the World Bank. It focused on economic development in poorer countries, and the bank lends money to various countries for their development projects. So, the International Development Agency also lends money to the governments for developmental activities. These are known as soft loans. When they lend money, it is known as soft loans. So, why it is known as soft loans means the loan is given with low rate of interest for a period of 50 years. So, that's why it's known as soft loans. In recent years, the bank is actively promoting achievement of Millennium Development Goals, which aim at improving living standard, removing illiteracy, empowering women and improving international and child health, improving the environment and eradicating AIDS. Now, we'll get into International Monetary Fund. The International Monetary Fund was primarily the brainchild of Harry Dexter White and John Maynard Keynes, the famous economist. It was formally organized in 1945 with 29 countries. When they have established it, there were only 29 countries. Now it has 189 countries. Its primary objective to ensure financial stability and development across the world. So what are the main two objectives? Financial stability and development across the world. So the main agenda is to promote international monetary cooperation, expansion of international trade and exchange stability. Post-war welfare states in Europe. So welfare state, the state which is looking into the welfare of the people. They have to fulfill the basic needs of the people. So the term welfare state refers to the concept that the government is responsible for the social and economic welfare of the people, thus expanding the role of the state beyond providing defense and maintaining law and order. So apart from that, they have to focus on welfare measures. In 1942, the report commonly known as Beveridge Report was published in the United Kingdom, which proposed series of measures which the government should adapt to provide the citizen with the adequate income, health care, education, housing and employment to overcome poverty and disease, which were the major impediments of general welfare. After the World War, the Labour Party was voted to power in Britain. It promised to undertake steps to look after the people from the cradle to the grave. So this word says how important to looking into the welfare of the people. So once again you must know the Beveridge Report, which was issued in the year 1942. Their key features are: it should provide the citizen adequate income, health care, education, housing, employment to overcome poverty and disease, which were the major problem of the people. So Beveridge Report, I'll just repeat for you. The Beveridge Report, which was issued in the year 1942 by United Kingdom. The key features of it: the government should adapt to provide the citizen with the adequate income, health care, education, housing and employment to overcome poverty and disease. So now children, these are the effects we have seen about the World War II. The lesson gets over here. Let's recap whatever we have seen from this lesson right from the first. First, we'll start with what were the causes of World War II. The first one we have seen the Treaty of Versailles and German, because as per the Treaty of Versailles, it's totally suppressed Germany. And second one we have seen failure of League of Nations. Then third reason we have seen rise of dictatorship. So there were three dictators. First one Hitler, Germany, then Franco, Spain, Mussolini, Italy. So this rise of dictatorship also led to the World War II. Then we have seen post-war crisis in Germany. Then we have seen about the Munich Pact, which Hitler break the promise what he signed during the pact. So all these led to the World War II. Then in the next part we have seen cause of the World War II. So when the World War started, it was started in the year 1939 and came to an end in the year 1945. Then we have seen who were the countries involved in the World War II. Finally, who succeeded in the World War II? The Allied power succeeded. Then we have seen about the important event Pearl Harbor incident. So when we have seen about the Pearl Harbor incident, it's a very important event through which America entered into the World War II. With this huge resources, America entered into the World War II. And we have seen the 2 atom bombs which were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So after this only, Japan ultimately surrendered without any demands from their side. Japan ultimately surrendered, which brought the World War II an end. Then finally, in the last one, we have seen effects of World War II. So it's one of your 5-mark questions. So it's highly expected question also. Let's have a clear revision of that. The first one, new geopolitical power alignment. The world was divided into 2 blocks. One is communist countries, another one is non-communist countries. So communist countries led by Russia and non-communist countries led by America. Then nuclear proliferation. So when we talk about the nuclear proliferation, so we have seen there was a competition between which 2 countries? Yes, America and Russia. Then international agencies. Many international agencies were started after the World War II. Then decolonization. After the World War II, many countries got independence. In that, the first country was India. India got independence, you all know, 15th August 1947. Then we also seen about Holocaust and its fallout. Then another one important turning point in the world history, it's a Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Next one, we are going to see about United Nations. So United Nations, it's another 5-mark questions. They'll ask about the functions and the organs of United Nations. The next one, we have seen about Security Council. So in Security Council, there were totally 15 members. How many members? 15 members. In that, 5 are permanent members. Now we'll see activities of United Nations. Over the decades, the United Nations has expanded its activities in response to the changing problems facing the world. So what are the problems? They are the problems of refugees, climate change, gender equality. So they are working over all these issues. So children, I hope you have understood whatever we have seen so far. Thank you.